be conducting a remote meeting of the committee to study the apportionment of gross business profits under the business profits. Before we get started, I'll read through a checklist to ensure that the meeting that we are holding is in compliance with the right to know law. I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, and in extensions, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. In accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to this meeting by telephone, with additional access possible by video and other electronic means. We are utilizing Zoom for this electronic meeting. All members of the committee and select legislative staff have the ability to communicate contemporaneously in this meeting through this platform. And the public has access to contemporaneously watch and or listen to the meeting on Zoom, YouTube, and via phone by the following directions and links provided on the General Court website. We have provided public notice of the necessary information for assessing the meeting in the Senate calendar. We are providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are any problems with access. If anyone has a problem, please email remote@leg.state.nh.us or call area code 603-271-2609. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call. Finally, let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state where they are and if anyone else is in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. I, Senator Lou D'Alessandro, will call the roll. I'm Senator Lou D'Alessandro, and I am in my home by myself. Senator Bertzel?
I am in my home. I'm here, and I'm in my home in Hampstead, and I am not alone. My husband's working upstairs, and he may be coming in and out.
Representative Ames?
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm here at my house alone.
Okay, Representative Abrami?
Yes, I'm here in Stratham in my home and alone.
Representative Stringham?
I am at my son and daughter-in-law's home, so I'm in a room by myself, but they're in the house.
Okay, the first order of business is to elect a chair.
I nominate Senator Lou D'Alessandro.
Are there any further nominations? Then I move that nominations be closed. Do we have to take a roll call on this?
Twin nods.
Alan, do we have to take a roll call on the election of chair?
Yep.
Okay, let's take the roll call. Senator Bertzel?
Yes.
Representative Ames?
Yes.
Representative Abrami?
Yes.
Representative Stigman?
Yes.
Senator D'Alessandro, yes. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's review the duties of the committee. The committee shall study the apportionment among states pursuant to RSA 77-A:3 of gross business profits under the business profits tax. The committee shall also monitor the laws and legislation of other states concerning market-based sourcing and may study any other related issues. The committee may solicit input or testimony from any person or organization the committee deems relevant to this study. I'm suggesting that we put this committee to bed because at 10 o'clock, House Bill 4 will be discussed, and it has the same objective, and it's a House committee. And at that point in time, we will select a chair of the House to run that committee, because that committee calls for 2 public hearings. So I think both committees do the same thing, but the second committee, the House Bill 4 committee, calls for the public hearings. So I think we should move in this direction. And so my recommendation is we put this one to bed and concentrate on the House Bill 4 committee, which again has the assignment of the 2 public hearings, and really incorporates all of the things that we discussed here in its charge. Yeah, Patrick.
Yeah, so this was just to focus on market-based sourcing? Is that correct?
Uh,
It says, I don't see anything about single sales factor.
Well, this said that may solicit input testimony from any person or organization the committee deems relevant to the study.
It can be expanded.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
broad. I think it's broad.
It's very broad, and the other one's even broader.
Right.
Well, may I speak? I'm sorry.
Yes,
I don't
of
want
course.
to. Not used to this procedure. Well, I am used to it, unfortunately.
We're all getting used to this.
We're getting used to it. It makes sense to me what you say. I would encourage the members of this committee that are not members of the other committee to observe the hearings that the other committee will be holding, because it's directly relevant to the ongoing work of this committee, which has an ongoing responsibility, assuming maybe some of us won't be reelected or aren't coming back, but there's this ongoing committee responsibility, and that new information that would be garnered from public hearings obviously is relevant. So it would seem to me that is sort of a footnote or point of information. But yeah, I don't see that we can do anything between now and whenever the report deadline is for this committee. So putting it to bed is a kind way of putting.
Right,
Can I ask who's on the committee, the House committee?
Basically, let me see the membership of the House committee. The House committee, it's myself, Senator Morgan, Senator Morse, Representative Walden, Representative Lovejoy, Representative Almy, and Representative Ames are all on the House committee, assigned to House Bill 4.
Who are the House members again?
Waldner, Lovejoy, Almy, and Ames.
Okay.
And I think Ames would be a great chair for that committee because of his knowledge and because of the work that he has done in conjunction with this. Now,
if I may, point of personal privilege. Thank you for the kind words. I feel that I'm drowning right now in other legislative work, and I hope that I will not be the one taking on that role.
Well, I suggest that because you're very competent, but number 2, you're easy to work with in terms of you're able to cut through the chase and deal with different points of view in a very constructive and amenable manner. But anyway, that committee has its hands full, and single sales is a big part of that, Representative Abrami. Now, Lovejoy did not run for re-election. But remember, she's in office until a successor has been chosen. So the speaker may appoint a replacement for her. I think he has that option. And I've talked with the speaker about this, and he's in accord with what we've chosen as the way to deal with this. So is there any other business to come before our committee?
Well,
Do we need a motion?
well, before you, well,
Yeah, Pat, go ahead.
I
Excuse
want
me.
to make a statement because I'm not on this other committee. And I just want to, and there's no Republicans on the other committee, as you can see, from the House side. But the Ways and Means Committee is pretty unified that we have no problem with market-based sourcing. Matter of fact, we vote for market-based sourcing.
Yes,
The issue in the next meeting is going to be single sales factor. The position of the House and the position of the Republicans on the Ways and Means as well, just so you know, is we're pretty unified, bipartisan, that at least at this point in time, and when you and Senator Bertso, myself, and others were on this other commission that went for 2 years,
right.
we agreed in that commission that market-based sourcing was probably the right way to go. But I think we put on hold the thought about single sales factor.
Right.
You're going to be hearing this discussion, I know, in an hour. But I just want to let you know that my position on that right now is to put a hold on that single sales factor. So until we understand the ramifications, let's let a couple of years go by with market-based in place, which I think that law is in place now.
Yes.
And then hold on single sales. I just the only opportunity I have to say that officially. So
Sure. Well, I appreciate that, and I think
I'm going to vote yes on dissolving this group.
right, and I think a recommendation could be made to the speaker to put with Lovejoy leaving the House to appoint another Republican member of Ways and Means. I think that's a situation that could be brought forward, but the House members can work on that.
I have to agree with that. That concerns me a little, that there's not a House Republican representation on it.
Well, if I may.
Yep. So, Representative Ames, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think that's sort of beyond the scope of this committee. And,
Right.
But Representative Lovejoy is a member of the House until, as you said, Senator D'Alessandro, that is a member of the legislature until she's succeeded by someone else when her term expires, since she's not running for the seat. So she's a full-fledged member, and what the speaker and she choose to do in the interim is sort of off of this table, I think.
Right. I think that's up to the speaker.
I also disagree that it's not the purview of this committee, because if we have concerns about the House committee and its makeup, then we could keep this in this committee in limbo if we don't think it's going fairly. So I do think it's part of this, the capability of this committee.
So sorry to interrupt. I just want to point out to the members that the HB4 Commission is required to submit the report by December 1st of this year. So the commission will be only in place until the end of all current incumbents' terms.
Good point.
Yeah, and we'll have a lot of things may change on November 3rd. So,
One more,
okay, Patrick.
it is, to be honest with you, this really is more of a difference of opinion between the House and the Senate than it is between Republicans and Democrats. Okay,
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm not on that committee or any Republican is not the big issue. It's really a difference in mindset between the House and the Senate on this. So I wasn't complaining that there wasn't a Republican on the committee.
Well,
Okay.
I think the House is certainly represented by Albee, who's chair of Ways and Means, and Representative Ames, who's vice chair of Ways and Means. And anyway, any more discussion?
It seems
Regina?
that the House is kind of on the same page as our commission was. So I'm not saying that I want a Republican. I just want to make sure that it's looked at fairly. And it sounds like the House is in, like I said, in the same bandwidth as the commission's determination on single sales source. That was my concern.
Great, thank you. Duly recorded. Okay. Do we have to take a vote then on?
I just would,
Go ahead,
Jerry,
Jerry. Go ahead.
Representative Stringham, it's nice to meet you all that I haven't worked with before. I just, the debate in Ways and Means in the House is, as has been presented, it was fairly vigorous. Yeah, even though I'm not on the other committee, I'm, willing to attend, participate as a public member, and I would support the motions as you put forward as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative. Okay, is there any other business to come before this committee?
Do we need a motion for this?
I
Okay.
believe so.
Yeah, so I have a report drafted up that I can email all of the members right now and we can put up on the screen it's obviously quite short. And if
Okay.
you want to review it, then we can vote on it and have everything all.
Why don't you do that, Jenny? Send out the report. And
Just send it to you, so you should all get it in your inbox in a second here.
Okay, and then we can take a vote.
Correct.
We put it up. Will you put it up on the screen?
Yes. Alan, could you do that? I sent it to you as well.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Thank you.
You guys see that? Okay.
Yep,
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a moment to digest the report and look at the recommendations, and then we'll move forward.
I'm happy to make any adjustments or changes that the committee feels appropriate.
Is that big enough for everybody? Can you see?
It's perfect. Thank you, Ellen. I think it's perfect. Let me know when everybody has read it, and then we'll take a vote.
I'm set. Pat's set.
Okay, Pat?
I'm all set. Mhm.
Okay. Regina, you all set?
Sorry. Should we put something in there about the fact that we're, House Bill 4 is going to be studying this or no?
So House Bill 4 is mentioned. If you look at the meeting summary, it's the committee to study the apportionment of gross business profits under the business profits tax. And I know that the recommendation is slightly different than what was discussed, so I'm more than happy to make changes to that. That was just.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I have a a question, I guess.
Yes, go ahead, Representative Ames.
Under the heading recommendations, it
Yes,
says that the committee recommends resubmitting the legislation for next year.
I'm in a study.
I don't know what that's referencing.
Can I call you back or is it something important? Okay.
it might reference the bill that was
Okay, perfect.
Senate Bill 190 that was submitted, but I think instead of the legislation, should strike the and say legislation for next year. You know,
As-
the legislation.
Legislation as needed for next year.
Yes, yeah, I think
How's that?
that's
And then that bypasses the issue.
Right.
This committee is a standing committee, isn't it?
No, it's a study.
study.
I mean,
committee.
but it doesn't end.
It does. Yep. It ends on November 1st.
This committee?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So may I interject? So we took Senate Bill 190 and we created a study out of it. Is that correct?
Senate
Yeah,
Bill
but-
190 is the study,
I
yeah.
see. I got it.
Right.
But Senate Bill.
Okay, so I think that would do it, Senator. Recommends resubmitting legislation as needed.
Yes,
next-
okay. Could you make that change, Jenny?
Yes.
Great, great. Okay, with that change, are we prepared to vote?
I am.
Okay, so just to review, the only change that we're making to the language is under recommendations, and it's going to read, the committee recommends resubmitting legislation as needed for next year. And then,
So may I make a motion?
Yes,
I move adoption of this final report as amended. The amendment being changing the recommendation, the first line of the recommendation to recommendations part to the committee recommends resubmitting legislation as needed for next year, et cetera.
and Representative Ames, that's you, correct? I can't see everybody anymore. so
Yes, that's me.
Perfect,
that's
thank you.
Representative Ames.
I'll second that.
Okay, with that, with that change, with that amendment, there is a second by Senator Bertzel. Let's take a vote. We have to do a roll call vote. So I'll start with myself. Senator Lou D'Alessandro votes yes. Senator Bertzel,
Yes.
Representative Ames,
Yes.
Representative Abrami,
Yes.
Representative Stringham.
Yes.
Okay, the vote is unanimous, and we're ready to rock and roll.
I have one question. I have a question though.
Yes, Pat. How'd you get Patrick Abrami? My goodness gracious.
I was named after my grandfather Pasquale, but they
Pasquale. Well, you should be Pasquale Abrami.
Okay. I knew you were gonna do that. So it seems like we need signatures on the bottom. How's that going to be handled?
Jenny, how the signatures going to be handled?
So it's up to the committee. If you want, since we're in a public meeting right now and it's being recorded, if you all individually want to give me authorization to sign your name and initial it as my name, that's up to you. Or if you would like to call me, or you can come to the office and sign physically.
Okay,
Well,
let's run through each. What's your pleasure? What's your pleasure, Regina?
Well, I know with my PTS commission, we are using the roll call vote as an authorization. We talked about it, when the final report comes up in the end of October, we're going to use the roll call as the final signature.
Okay, great. Is everyone in accord with that?
I'm fine.
Yes.
So great,
Okay,
Great.
so I'll sign
Great.
everybody off and initial.
great.
As well.
Super. All right, so with that, it's been wonderful to spend early morning with you, and I'll be back at 10 o'clock.
Can I just want to make sure, if I want to tune into this as I'd be a guest, correct, for the 10 o'clock?
Yes,
So can staff just forward me to make sure I have the right link for that? Is it the same? It would be a different link, correct?
It's in the calendar notice for the meeting at 10, but I can send you.
Can you send me the link? That'd be helpful.
Can
Okay.
you
Right.
send me the same thing too, please?
Yeah,
Thank
no problem.
Thank you.
You guys just have to call the roll to adjourn though.
okay, great. So I think with that, our morning is complete, and we have completed our work at 9:24 a.m. And is there anything else that must be said in terms of the public, Alan, or is this it?
Nope, that's it.
We can close. Well, thank you, everybody, for getting up and participating. Nice to see you. And I haven't seen some of you since the 13th of March. And I'll tell you, it's been a long, long day. So thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you, and to each and every one of you, good luck in the election process. Jenny, Sonia, Alan, thank you very much for making this simple and so efficient and effective. So thank you, everybody, and I'll catch you all at 10 o'clock.
Senator,
Thank
sorry,
you.
you have to call the roll to adjourn. So you have to have a motion.
Call the roll.
to adjourn
Okay.
And then call the roll. Sorry.
All right, on adjournment, Senator Bertzel,
Yes.
Representative Ames,
Yes.
Representative Abrami,
Yes,
yep, Stringham,
Yes.
Delisandro, yes. Okay, Jen, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I'll see you all. I'll see you all at 10 o'clock.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Right.
So do we curtail this, Jen? And then re-sign up at like 5 of 10?
You'll have
Okay.
a new link.
All right, so a new Zoom link?
I'll
Yeah.
resend it to you, Senator.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Senator.
Thank you.